I'm Amy.
And I'm Chris,
Best friends of 30 years.
and we believe A Course in Miracles is the most enlightening,
Albeit slightly difficult,
personal development course we've come across.
we've walked many miles
In several countries,
analyzing and applying the course
we're bringing you our insights,
and challenges
our loves and fears.
as we apply this course to our daily lives
We love its non-denominational and all-inclusive nature,
and want to share how you too can apply these higher principles in a practical
and hopefully more easeful way.
grab a tea
Or a glass of wine,
and settle in for some laughs and truths as we share real life tribulations.
and how we shift them into miracles. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to One Simple Truth. It's Chris and no Amy. Amy had a conflict today, but I'm so excited to have a special guest on today who is Lisa Bybee Ferrell. Am I saying that properly? Don't
You
tell me
are.
after all these years. Okay. And Lisa, okay, so I'm going to introduce Lisa and then I have to share how we met. So Lisa is a master success coach and she empowers women to turn chaos and confusion into clarity and confidence. I love that so much. So welcome, Lisa, and share with everyone how long you've been coaching for now.
Oh my goodness, I have been coaching since 2006.
Oh
A
my,
long time.
wait, that is right when we connected then.
That's right. It
That's
is.
crazy. Okay,
Yeah,
because you were finishing up at Coach University, I think.
that's correct.
Yeah, okay. So I forgot about that part. So okay, so I am so excited for you to be on. So you are the OG for me with self-care and totally changed everything. And we met through Jesse, who is now your husband,
That's
right?
right.
Who
Yeah.
wasn't then. Um,
Who was my coach then?
he was your coach. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. So he knew a mutual friend, and this was right around my searching for what I wanted to do next, and
Yes.
I'd sort of heard about coaching and then learned about it from my friend who introduced me, I think, to Jesse, and he introduced me to you. And I
That
thought
sounds
I
about right.
better hire a coach, right, to make
Yeah.
sure that I, like this and I want to do this for a career. But then what ended up happening was it totally changed my life. And we were like setting the most amazing goals, which are much more common now, but we're not then. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yes.
walks in nature. That was huge.
Yes.
Going for a massage. I feel like that was primarily for people who had been injured. Like it wasn't really a self-care thing back then.
Yes.
And just all kinds of goals like that, and it really was my introduction to self-care, which I'm such an advocate for, as you know, and wrote a book about it, how it totally
Yes.
just has changed everything. And it's really about receiving and self-love and all the things, and it started with you. It's like that's just so cool. So I'm just,
That is. I
yeah.
mean, that's like what, 19 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, before kids.
Yeah. Well, I had just had Jude. So he was a baby. Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, it was crazy. And that made it like even extra special because as new moms, it's like, oh, we don't have time to do anything, but we were setting all these goals and it made such a difference even with my parenting, having more patience and grace for that time because it was kind of a crazy time.
Most definitely, because you don't know what you don't know. When you become a mom, you
Yeah.
get so excited to meet this person that you've created, but then 24/7, and then it's forever, and your life changes forever for the better. But oh my gosh, nobody can prepare you for motherhood.
No, no. And it's like it's okay to take time for ourselves. Like I started reading all these books and I remember like, you know, um while I was breastfeeding, reading some books and like with the pillow you put around you and listening. Then I went back to work before I was like a full-time coach and listening to Jesse's book, which I know we're going to talk about a little later, but like on the discs, right? I'm like going like this, and people can't see the shape of a disc, right? Listening in the car, it was
Yes.
crazy. And it made such a big difference. Like I always am still sharing that story when I go and speak, that like that I'm always referencing you. I hired a coach and she had me do this, and I made all these changes, and I became more patient and like a better version of myself. So yeah.
That is so cool. Well, it's funny you said that you referenced Take Time for Your Life, because
Mhm.
that was the book that changed everything for me by Cheryl Richardson.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was thinking about that this morning. I think it was you that introduced me to Cheryl Richardson's books.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was like revolutionary, I feel like at the time.
Yeah, totally. I mean, because when you're young and you're just starting out, you don't know what you don't know. And you just want to, take it all in with a fire hose and just, oh my gosh, I love this. She's speaking my language, right?
Right? And it's like, oh, what? Permission granted to take care of ourselves, because most of us were not brought up that way, right?
No,
No
no,
offense to our parents, just that time in
exactly.
society. Yeah. And
Yeah.
like, isn't it cool to see how widely accepted it is now, and it's like commonplace?
Yes. But it's also, people are so busy. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
I think the new sexy thing right now is slowing down.
Yes.
Taking that much needed time for self, because we get on that hamster wheel and we're just going and going and going and going, and when we stop, we're like, we feel like, because we've been trained to just keep going, that we have to keep going. But I think the new sexy thing to do is to just slow down and
Right?
breathe, right? To be in the moment, to be present.
Totally. It's like, stop it already.
Yes.
there's there's no medal coming for how much we can do in a day. I've tried really hard to look for that.
And not only that, but we are the role models for our children and for our clients. It's important to walk that talk.
It really is. And to, if you can't, like, look at what's going on and be willing to look at your own stuff, right? And share it.
Absolutely.
Like, because I feel like this really is my life lesson. And right now I'm in a phase where it's much more calm and I'm not taking on as much. And I feel like I'm finally learning that part of the lesson.
Yeah,
Uh, but we can all dip in and out, right? We all have these old beliefs that we've got to tackle and shift, and just being willing to work on it and share what's working, I think is really important.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think to be vulnerable and to be as authentic as you can, because that's where the magic lies. The truth and
Yeah.
vulnerability, right?
So true. Yeah. Cause not, and I know we probably touched on this, I think, in our coaching, and it still shows up. It's like nobody wants the perfect person either. It's
Yeah,
like we want to walk the talk and be working on it, but like it's okay to not be perfect too, right? It's like I saw a really great quote on this the other day, that perfectionism is the highest form of self-abuse. I was like, oh dang.
yes, it is. Because you're trapped. I mean, I'm sure you've read Brene Brown's The Gift of
Yes.
Imperfection. Oh,
Yes. Oh,
it's
so good.
such a recovering perfectionist,
Oh,
a good
right.
enoughist, right?
So true. And
Yeah,
those are all the things that keep us in that hamster wheel, like you were talking about, like
yes,
just, those old beliefs. And, but it's amazing when we do take care of ourselves that everything flows. Like it's just, we don't have to grind it out or hustle, right?
no,
It's like, it flows. Like imagine that.
yes. That is where the magic is
Yeah.
is the flow of it all, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so true. It's so true. And I was just thinking, like, even self-care for me at the beginning with having kids was like one more thing I had to do and put on the to-do list, even though I felt so good doing it. And I remember having to shift, like, do it in the morning instead before they get up, right? And
yes,
I'm not like trying to bust through the day, getting to that point, And then finally getting that time for myself, it was like that shift was so huge. And then I was starting my day, filling up my cup, and made such a big difference for me.
I think having a morning routine
Hmm.
sets the foundation and the structure for the day. I know, like for me, I do my daily prayers, my daily affirmations. I need that first hour of the day to just like get in the tub and kind of unfold like a flower and just to come around, right? To set my intentions. What does my day look like? Do my workout and just, take that time for me because when mama's happy, everybody's happy.
Right? That's exactly it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love that you brought up the morning routine, but wait, are you having a bath in the morning?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
that's like
that. It's like how we have so many rules. Like in my head, I'm like, no, baths are for the evening. It's like, well, why not have one in the morning if it fills you up?
I do one in the morning and one at night sometimes
Ooh.
because depending on the day that you've had, it washes away all that may have been layered on top of you.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like it's a good cleanse too. There's something about water in that way. But oh,
completely.
I love that. Add it in the morning. Oh my gosh.
Well, and you, didn't I just see that you did a cold plunge in Lake Tahoe?
Yes, I did in the summer. Yes. And it's funny, I used to do them all the time in San Diego at a spot where there was a hot tub next to the cold plunge. And I'm like, that's what's missing with Lake
Yeah.
Tahoe. I can't go and do it all the time. I'm a wimp.
Yes.
I need the hot tub after. But no, that in the summer the lake's still cold here, but it was like much more manageable and it was so awesome. I loved
I'll
it.
bet.
Yeah,
I'll bet.
swimming around. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I could talk about self-care all day and it's probably connected to what we were going to talk about anyway, but
Sure.
I know we wanted to talk a little bit about miracles and you may even have introduced me to Marianne Williamson back in the day. I don't
I'm
know.
sure I did. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us what it means to you to be miracle minded and how that shows up for you.
When you have the awareness and the consciousness of a miracle, open your eyes because they're all around us. Every
Mhm.
day, every moment that we're living and breathing is a miracle, right?
Yeah.
It's going back to being present and being aware of what's around you, what's surrounding you, you know, uh, getting up and breathing in the morning. It, the simple things. I think people are now, if you've got a friend that's sick, and I do have a friend that's sick and battling breast cancer, I pray for miracles for her every day. And if you don't ask for what you want and need, you're not going to receive, right? So you
Mhm.
really have to have that mindset around it that I deserve this, I want this, because those words are very powerful, and what you think about, you bring about, right?
So true. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know what? Since we were talking about self care, do you find that, and I know it's such a big part of your life as well, do you find that you are more in a state to receive the miracle or however? And I would love to know how it shows up for you because I know for everybody else it's different, what that guidance looks like. But do you find that you're more in a state to receive when you practice self care?
absolutely. Because again, it's an awareness, it's a flow, it's a rhythm. And if you're so busy being busy and not necessarily productive, but you get on that hamster wheel and you're just so used to doing that you don't know what to do when you do slow down. So it's really important to be mindful and to take that time. And I'm sure you're into breath work too. Breath work is so powerful because it
Hmm.
releases all of that anxiety within. And there's so much anxiety out there that the breath work can really, ground you and make you uh, come about and intentionally.
Yes, yes. You know what? The where I did the cold plunges, it was always with breath work first. I don't know how people can do a cold plunge without having the breath work first, to be honest.
Yes.
Shout out Breathe Degrees in Carlsbad, California. But it's so true. And you can kind of just go beyond those anxious thoughts, right? When you're practicing that breath work, it's so powerful.
Because it gets you out of your mind,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just like meditation. I mean, meditation, it's hard, it's challenging for those that are so busy and on that hamster wheel because their minds don't shut down. And you need that mind to refresh. And even a lot of people go to bed and they have a notepad by their bed. They're writing because their mind won't shut down. I can't stress enough how important it is to have noise canceling headphones and to listen to guided meditation, even if you start for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, build up to 15 and 30 minutes. It's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer.
Yeah, that is so true. And I love what you shared about the hamster wheel because that can be so addictive, right? It's
Yes.
like, oh my gosh. And it's so true. Once you come down from that, and I feel like it's a work in progress because we can slip into it or we have different times of our lives, where things are going on. But if we can just learn to, get off it and take that break and like you said, be present, then that becomes addictive because it feels so good.
Absolutely. I mean, for me working in corporate for 35 years in broadcasting in a man's world, you never felt good enough. I'm speaking of me. I
Mhm.
never felt good enough. I never felt that I could say no to things that I had no business saying yes to. And it took me years to learn how to ask for what I wanted and needed, but to
Mm.
actually say no, and no is a full sentence. That
Right.
was so uncomfortable for me in the beginning, but it's
Totally.
so necessary. And you have to ask for what it is that you want and need out of life because I don't know why we're so scared. So many women are scared to just ask for what they want and need, no matter how big or how small. Just start asking.
Yeah, it's so true. I love that. And starting off small, it's like, yeah, just start off small, even with your spouse or your partner, what's something that would help you, right? To have a little less stress, like, and then you can practice it. Yeah, I love that work. And it's funny because I don't know about you, but I'm finding which maybe this is TMI, but it's real life. Like once you enter menopause, like even though so I've spent what we said 19 years working on this stuff, saying no, practicing saying no, setting boundaries, made so much progress, but like something comes over you when you're in menopause that you
Oh my God, right?
less tolerant, right? And you're like, oh hell no. And it makes it so much easier to set even stronger boundaries because you're just like, you don't care anymore what people think for some reason.
When you said menopause, I just released an article in Bold Journey and I talk about menopause and I talk about
Oh, awesome.
because in your generation, they're talking about it a lot more than they did in my
Mm,
generation. It wasn't talked about. I didn't know what was going on with my body. Um, and the weight gain, like I used to have this beautiful figure and all of a sudden I have no waistline and what is happening to me? And
yeah.
so you grieve the person that you once were, right? To this new person you're becoming, but the wisdom that comes along with it, embrace who you are and what you have, because it is wisdom beyond that's luscious, it's the oyster. And I just put the link in the chat for the article because I've had a lot of women saying, "Oh my gosh, nobody talks about this," and the way you framed that with grieving who you once were but embracing who you now are gave me the reason to take flight and do the same.
Oh, I love that. How funny that would come up in our conversation then. I will include that in the show notes for sure. That's
Awesome.
awesome. And yeah, it's like I totally agree. When it first started happening to me, I couldn't even eat a carrot without being bloated. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? Like, right? And so, and it's like, for anyone who hasn't entered yet, not to worry. There are things that you don't have to have the symptoms. So
Well,
you
and everyone's
can,
journey is very
yeah,
different.
yeah, totally.
So
Yeah. So, but it's so true, the wisdom that comes with it. And it's like, there's something spiritual that happens like with letting go on a deeper level and not caring what people are thinking and just being okay with like speaking your mind and setting stronger boundaries. Like I love that you called it wisdom. That's exactly what it is.
let me just read this one part that a reader shared this morning. She said, the hardest part has been reconciling the image of the woman I used to be with the version of me that I see today. There were moments of grief, of questioning my worth, and feeling like my best years were somehow behind me. This struck me on a very human level. It takes courage to admit that transformation often comes with grief, who we once were. I connected with this so deeply as I have felt those same doubts and emotions in my own journey.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that you're naming it grief. We've had a grief expert on, and it's like grief can apply to so many things, and that's so true. Letting go of the older version and really embracing the new one, because the new one's freaking badass. And she's
Absolutely. But we as women are doubting ourselves
yeah.
so much when
Mhm.
you just need to turn it around. Is your cup half empty or half full? Because it's half full. Let's start
True.
each day with gratitude. Look at what you have. Look how many people would love to have your life for the things that you
Right?
have, not
So
for what you
true.
don't have.
Yeah. And who wants to have a period? I mean, really, like, goodbye.
That's one thing I do
You
not miss.
right? Absolutely do not miss that either. And it's so funny because one of my friends was talking about like having a sex moon with her husband, like when kids are out of the house and stuff. And I'm like, I love that. And it's exactly what you're talking about. It's reframing all of it.
Yes.
It can be positive or negative. And even if you're positive for the most part doesn't mean there's not going to be things to move through like the grief or the heaviness, but it's like if we can
Unintended.
right? If we can shed that, yeah. And just embrace the new version. It's like there is really so much to be thankful for and such a great flip side of it all.
And men are so lucky. They don't have to go through any of this metamorphosis transformation of who
Right?
they are. They just most men just continue to age and look better with age.
What's
And
up with that?
women, I mean, it's I don't know. But
Right. They do get the aftermath of us though. I saw this funny video of like someone going through menopause and like how, I forget exactly what it was, but it was like how you no longer want to be around your husband or make the dinner. And like, they're like, "Ooh, what is happening?" Right. And I thought I was laughing so hard because I can totally relate. I was just like, oh yeah, that's like they do there is a bit of a ripple effect for them as well, but yeah, they have, that's nothing compared to what we're going through.
no, and
They still have it easy.
So for any of the women out there that's listening to this that is not in this phase of life, you're so blessed to have books out there, to have
Mm.
the coaches that are out there can hold your hand and lead and guide you through this. I'm actually in the eWomen Network, which is a national organization, and there's a woman in there, a woman coach that's 32 years old that's gone through menopause. And she's like, she went to the doctor and the doctor's telling her things that are not true. That's when she questioned everything
Mm.
and said I needed to take control of my body, because what they were telling me to do they had no business. And it was a doctor informing her what to do with her body that couldn't have been further from the truth.
Yeah. I was just listening to a podcast on this stuff, funny enough, this morning, and there was a lot of talk about the doctors. And I guess, unfortunately, it's because women's health hasn't been studied. So, then they haven't gotten the information. But I'm glad you brought that up about someone who's 32, because I mean, I hit it early, so I'm a few years in now, and then a few years before that with the symptoms. And there was a lot of shaming from other women, like, oh, you're too young. It's like, stop it. Stop.
Right?
That's so rude. It's
And
like,
that's why every body is different,
right.
right? There is no cookie cutter way to go through this thing
Yeah.
called life either,
Yeah,
but menopause for sure.
exactly. Exactly. So I mean, I haven't heard of anyone that's been that young. So that's, good for me to know. Like, it's just, we don't know when these things are going to happen. And let's just all, help each other out and share the information.
She would be a great guest for your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she
I'm
is.
sure she's learned a lot.
She is so smart. In fact, she's having a menopause fair coming up here
Oh,
next week, next Saturday.
oh my gosh, that's so cool. Is she
Yeah,
in Vegas too? You're in
yeah,
Vegas, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep,
So awesome.
yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, you'll have to give me her info after for sure.
I will do that. I will absolutely do that.
But yeah, so it's, how did we get on this topic? I don't know, but self-care, it's all connected, and whatever is going to help us change those thoughts, I think, is essentially what we were saying, right? Like,
Yes,
changing
yes,
those thoughts, standing up for how we want to be treated, how we want to, you guys focus a lot on how we want to leave other people feeling and be
yes,
treated.
yes.
Uh, so huge. So, and we can't do that unless we have those shifts ourselves, right? And fill up our
That's
own
right.
cup.
Right.
Yeah.
You can certainly, you don't have to learn everything the hard way. You can certainly learn those lessons through others, but it
Mhm.
seems like you can speak to it a little better when you've actually experienced those things.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to sort of that miracle mindedness. And you were saying that, yes, for you, when you are practicing self-care and the different types of it, you can slow your mind down and receive the miracle. How do you receive it? I'm always curious to know. Is it a thought? Is it a knowing? Like, what is it for you when you see that miracle around you?
You know, when I go hiking in the morning and I'm in nature, I
Mm,
just look around me and I see the miracles everywhere, including me being one of them, but just the beauty in the red rocks. And I mean, if you go to my Facebook page, you can see all the pictures that I take on the hike. So if you're too busy going through life, you need to take time and smell the roses. I mean, I'll be looking at the little bugs that are flying around. I'll take pictures of these lizards or a snake or like a really cool flower. Just whatever is around me, check out the beauty and take time for those moments because those are truly the miracles.
yeah, I love that. It sounds like just being so present and being aware.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I love that that it even came up that you are in Vegas, because I think most of us would think of the strip and the lights and all the things going on, and you're hiking and you're out in nature and seeing the beauty. Like, that's amazing. It's everywhere if we want
Yes.
to see it,
There's so much more to Las Vegas than the strip.
right?
Yeah.
Just one fun part. Yeah.
That's right. But I don't like being a local, you don't really
Yeah.
like to go down there as much as
Mm.
if you're a tourist, just because it's not that fun and glamour and glitzy when you live here. You kind of get used to
Right.
it.
Totally. And you
Yeah.
know what's funny? I was thinking too how we met up in Vegas one time, because my husband was coaching with Jesse and you and I
Yes.
were coaching, and I
Yep.
was there to finish my Coach U stuff.
Yeah.
or maybe I was finishing it while I was there. I think the online part was. Anyway, I just remember it all together and all did like a coaching session and we met up and then
Yeah,
split. That was so fun.
it was. Didn't
Uh,
we, did we meet? Didn't we meet in Chicago?
did
Did,
we also meet in
yeah, I
Chicago?
think we did.
Because that was where my initial coach you. Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
we.
think we met in Chicago.
Gosh, that was my initial coach you like kickoff week. Yeah. Oh, I remember feeling so sick to my stomach because I was so nervous about that changing out of corporate. Yeah, you're right. That is so awesome. Oh my
Yeah, that, oh
gosh.
my gosh, just think about how you built that bridge leaving corporate and that you now, and you can fly and you're free and you
Right?
love what you do.
It's so crazy. I was thinking because I realized last week was my 18th year, official year anniversary. Because we started 19 years ago and then I officially started my business after that. But I was like, oh my gosh, 18 years. Like it's almost double of what I was in corporate because I was 10 years to the day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever could have thought any of this stuff up. But okay, so share with us a time where you, and I know you're seeing the miracles all around you, which is amazing. Is there a time that really stands out where, just some crazy miracle showed up and was just so helpful? Is there a time that stands out?
Yes, last September 18th, I was on the freeway coming home from an event that my intuition told me I shouldn't have gone to, but I had just joined this organization, and they were installing the board of directors. So I'm like, I want to go support. I've got like three friends there. I want to be supportive, but something said, don't go. Well, after they were installed, I left and I got on the I-15 freeway and it was like a parking lot. Like nothing was moving. So I got over in the HOV lane because there's an exit that you can take out off the HOV lane,
Mm.
and a car from the lane that next to the HOV lane turned into me and I was doing 80 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm lucky it didn't hit the wheel to send me in a circle into oncoming traffic. It rather hit me and I fishtailed to a stop. And I was so shaken
Mm.
that my blood pressure had to be skyrocketed. I didn't know what to do. And I just sat there to breathe. But when I went and looked at the car and what had happened, I realized what a miracle it was that I was alive at that moment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah,
crazy. Oh, well,
yeah,
thank goodness. And yeah, when you said your intuition told you, it's like, oh my gosh, how many times when we don't listen to our intuition, it comes back around to bite us in the butt, right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You know, in this book that Jesse and I wrote together, the how you leave them feeling, it's, can't quite. There we go.
oh, there it is. Yep.
It's your foundation for inspiring relationships. I talk about the head, heart, and gut, the HHG. And when you are in total alignment with that internal GPS, how important it is to tap in and listen because it'll never lead you astray. And that is my example of when I didn't listen, and that is my miracle just to be here because
Yeah.
by the look of my car and everything that happened, and for me to walk away, I mean, I did get a concussion and had to deal with that, but to be in one piece and walk away was a true miracle.
Yeah, it's like, okay, maybe you didn't listen to your intuition, but you got another chance with it, right? And then there was that miracle of not being hurt. I mean, oh my gosh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And we on our podcast, Amy and I talk a lot about the Course in Miracles here and following that guidance that we all have there for us, whatever our belief system is,
Yes.
bigger than us. And I really feel like that's how we're connected to it is through our intuition.
Absolutely.
And it's so huge. And I love that you talk about and connect the head, heart, and gut, because it's so major. It's
It is.
all
It's
connected.
it's everything. You know, that's a lot of women go, how do you tap into that? Well, it's getting still. It's listening to your body. Listening, we have women are gifted with it. They
Mm.
just need to learn to tap into it because that's a miracle. That's magical in my opinion.
Right? That is yeah. And listening to it and trusting it, like this is what it is, right? Like
Yes.
you can have faith in that and follow it, but it takes
and
practice.
and then not following it, and look what
Yeah,
happens
right,
every time.
exactly.
Really, every time you don't follow it and you know something's not right,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Every
Yeah,
time.
it's powerful.
And we'll include in the show notes a link to your book and everything. But if you could give the listeners one sort of tip on how to get started with that, with really honing in and listening to their intuition, what would it be?
It would be to sit down and quiet the mind. And if you can't quiet the mind, start with that guided meditation.
Mhm.
That'll teach your brain to calm down because it all starts up here, right? But then we can feel it here and in the gut, which is
Mhm.
the alignment of the HHG. Just get quiet, get still,
Mhm.
and be comfortable with that. Be in a room and enjoy the silence and quiet that mind. It's
Yeah, I love that. And for those who are listening, we have this by video on YouTube too, but Lisa was tapping her head and then her heart. And it's what I'm seeing too is like using your body to see where you're feeling it as well when you're quiet.
which is all about how you leave them feeling, right?
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Well, you are just such a wealth of knowledge, and I'm so glad we tied in, the self-care and getting quiet and miracles and everything. Just such a pleasure to connect with you here in this way, all these years later. Oh my gosh. And
Thank
so,
you. There
oh,
are no accidents, and I'm
yeah,
we should do something together one day.
yeah, we really
Just
should.
just because of the wisdom on your end and the wisdom on my end, and I think there's magic in that.
Yes, and I'm just a quick flight now to Vegas.
Yeah. Yes.
We
Or
totally
me
should.
or me to Tahoe.
Yeah, right, exactly. I love that. So we share with everyone before I let you go where they can find you and your book and everything.
You can, it's lisalisten.com
Mm,
and Lisa Bybee Ferrell on Facebook, Lisa Ferrell on LinkedIn, Lisa Bybee Ferrell on Instagram. And
awesome.
you can find the book on Amazon. Uh, just type in Lisa Farrell, How You Leave Them Feeling, and it'll come up. It's also on audio, and it's Jesse and I reading the book. So you feel like we're right there in the car with you, sharing our stories, which is kind of cool.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that. And Jesse has, as you do, like such a powerful presence. So, what a treat and a gift to be able to listen to both of your voices.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's such a delight. Go check out Lisa, everybody. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been fun.
You're so welcome. Okay, until next time, everyone. Bye for now. Please click and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. And if you would like to learn more about readings and coaching with Chris and Amy, please visit chrisatley.com. Until next time.